Hey guys, welcome back to Incognito. My name is Gautam and today we are going to learn about objects in JavaScript. Let's get started. Before we jump into objects in JavaScript, let's take a look at real-life objects. Objects are anything which we can see, feel or touch. A car is an object. A water bottle is an object. A keyboard is an object. Even a person is an object. Each real-world object has attributes which tells us more about that object and helps us differentiate it between other similar objects. Objects in JavaScript are very similar. They are basically variables which have different attributes. We can use these attributes to write code and perform different operations. Some developers also think of objects as arrays with each element being an attribute. Let's see how we declare an object in JavaScript. Every object declaration begins by declaring a variable. So I'm going to say I'm going to declare a variable const Gautam and give it so now we have a variable and this variable will hold an object. The object attributes will be listed within a pair of curly braces. And now the first attribute I want to give the Gautam object is the name. So the name will be Gautam. So now we can see that the attribute is on the left hand side, followed by a colon, and then the value of that attribute is given within double quotes if it's a string. So this is similar to declaring a variable. Name is the variable and Gautam is the value the variable holds. Instead of equal to is just a colon. And now, just like arrays, we separate each attribute with a comma. So now I'm just going to give a comma after the first attribute, and then I'm going to say age, then give a colon and say 20. I'm not putting 20 within double quotes because age is a number. Then I'm going to put another comma over here, and then say let's say height, and say 6. I put within strings 6 feet. Then followed by another comma, and then I'm going to give another attribute which says has car, and this will be a boolean variable. I'm going to pass in the value of true. So now we have an object Gautam whose name is Gautam. Gautam is 20 years old. He is 6 feet tall and he has a car. Let's give one more attribute. Let's say gender and pass in male. Okay. So now we have declared one object over here. Now I'm going to come below this and declare one more object. I'm going to name the object car this time. Declare a variable car, and then within a pair of curly braces, I'm going to give some more attributes. Now a car in real life has different attributes again. It can have a different manufacturer. It can have a different color. It can have a different number of seats. It can have it can have many different attributes. I'm just going to list a few over here. So the manufacturer one can be followed by colon. Sorry. So the manufacturer will be Mahindra. The model, I'll say model. Yeah. Okay. Never mind the model. Let's say color, and pass in gray here. Then give another comma, and then say seats. Now let's say number of seats, and give the integer value of 7. And then what else can we go over here? Is it okay, fine. Now this should be enough for car. So now we have two objects, Gautam and car. The second object, car, is a car made by Mahindra. It's a gray color car and it has 7 seats. Now how do we access each attribute of an object? In real life, if you want to know the age of a person, we will just ask them what their age is. In JavaScript, if you want to know the age of Gautam, I have to come below the declaration of the object and say console.log, the name of the object, followed by a dot, and then the attribute I want to access. So I want to print the age of Gautam. So if I put this into a sentence, I'm going to put some double ticks here, back ticks, not double ticks. Sorry. So now I'm going to say Gautam is pass in the Gautam.age variable within the curly braces, and then say Gautam is age years, oops, this should come inside, years old. Now if I save this, it will the console will say Gautam is 20 years old. So now we know how to access the attribute of Gautam using the dot operator. Now let's see if let's try one more example. If I want to know if Gautam has a car, so I'm going to come over here and say backticks, open a pair of backticks, and say let's say Gautam. No, wait, never mind. First I'll start an if condition. If Gautam dot has car is equal to true, I'll open a pair of curly braces and console.log this statement, Gautam has a car. Else, if Gautam.has car is false, else I will log this to the console, the Gautam does not have a car. So now if we go back to the Gautam object, we can see that has car is true. That means ideally this statement should be printed to the console. Let's save it and see what happens. So Gautam has a car does come to the console. If I change the value of has car to false, let's see the new output. So now it says Gautam does not have a car. Yeah. Now let's go a bit deeper into accessing the attributes of different objects. So let's say that I am in real life and I want to ask the question, does Gautam have a car? If he does, what color is it and how many seats does it have? So now this is the question I want to ask. Let's try and translate this question into JavaScript code. First I'm going to comment this out for this code over here. Now I'm going to come below the question and pass in an if condition to answer the first question, does Gautam have a car? So if Gautam dot has car is equal to true, I don't have to pass is equal to true over here. It's as good as asking if Gautam dot has car is equal to true without passing the equal to true without passing this part into the if condition over here. So I'm going to leave it as if Gautam dot has car. Statement 1. Let's just leave it as statement 1 for now, and then else if he does not have a car, another statement 2. So now the question says, if Gautam has a car, what color is it and how many seats does it have? So under the if condition, I have to console.log the car has pass in the dollar sign. Where's the dollar sign? Yeah, oh my god, dollar sign, and then within the pair of curly braces I am going to say car dot color. The car is that color, and it has, let's say, pass in another dollar sign and then say car dot number of seats, and it has that many seats. Let me just extend VS Code over here. Yeah, that looks better. And now else, if Gautam dot has car is false, I have to console.log this string, Gautam does not have a car. Okay, so now we've written this code which roughly translates this question into JavaScript. Now let's save this and see what happens. We get an output over here. The car is gray color and it has 7 seats. Let's review this code. If Gautam.hasCar is equal to true, Gautam.hasCar is true because this attribute of Gautam is true. So therefore it enters the if condition and then prints this statement. The car is car.color color. So now this car.color is a variable which accesses the color attribute of the object car and prints it to the console, and it has car.number of seats. So number of seats is another attribute of the car object, and again it's another variable which we pass into the backticks, which we pass into the curly braces, and then complete the string. Else, if Gautam.hasCar is false, it simply prints Gautam does not have a car. So now, after reviewing this code, we now see that this output makes sense. The car is grey color and it has 7 seats. So guys, that was it for this video. If you liked it, please like, share and subscribe to the channel. It really helps us out a lot, and thank you.